Why would I have gone to a fucking state school and graduated from a state school if my father is a multi-billionaire? What makes you think that I would not have gone to Harvard if that was the case? What? Sorry for spamming. Speaking of your money, I've been talking to my friends about you and they keep insisting you have a billionaire dad and they show this website as proof. Dude, you're doxing my fucking dad while also claiming he's a billionaire. I've never even seen this fucking website, but that is pretty funny. Unveiling his empire, real estate and portfolio staple. He has none of this shit. What the fuck? This is an AI written website. Are you okay? What? It says he has 5 billion. Net worth is $5 billion. I take care of my dad, like financially, and my mom. This is news to me that this entire time he was hiding $5 billion of assets. If only I had known that there are AI bot written websites out there who are claiming that his net worth is $5 billion. Hey, King, my mom saw you last night on CNN and asked me if you were Jewish. He looks Jewish. We're Jews, so this is a compliment. I like that. That site was an IP grabber. You need a new IP address? Wait, is it? Nice. Great. Amazing. All sites are technically IP grabbers. So I don't know how that works, but I hope people understand that if you believe shit like that, I'm sorry, you're an absolute fucking dumbass. Okay? That's it. If you believe in shit like that, you're just an absolute fucking dumbass. That's it. I don't know what else to say. It's literally true though. Yeah, well, it's fucking news to me. It is funny though that like people will be like, nah, actually it's true. You don't know. This random AI website actually knows the truth. There's no explanation for how this occurs, and yet he's not on any like Forbes list, you know? Because I feel like at that point, if you're a billionaire, you're gonna appear on some lists of the wealthiest people, right? Yeah, that would make him the second wealthiest person in Turkey. Wow. If his net worth, well, Murat Ülker, his name is Murat. My brother's name is Murat. Maybe there's a connection there. Yeah, this would make my father the second wealthiest person in the country. Do you understand how fucking stupid people are? Why would I have gone to fucking University of Miami and then Rutgers? It doesn't make sense. Why would I have gone to a fucking state school and graduated from a state school if my father is a multi-billionaire? What makes you think that I would not have gone to Harvard if that was the case? Brother, you say that like they're poor schools. Rutgers? I went to Miami with a scholarship, but Rutgers? What are we doing now? Like, are we acting like Rutgers is not a state school? What the f? I mean, I'm in the South, different perspective. I'm sorry. Being from the South does not change this concept at all. Okay? As far as schools go, and by the way, I literally also still, while paying in-state tuition, still had to take out student loans for the record. But again, didn't realize that that was also something I didn't have to do because my father happens to be the second wealthiest person in Turkey, just not showing up on this list for some secret reason. Had to pay my own student loan debt, my brother's student loan debt, my mom's student loan debt, which, you know, I was very privileged and very fortunate enough to be able to do. Wait, Rutgers is cheaper than my school? Maybe I'm a champagne socialist too? Yeah. Yeah, it's called quiet old money. Yeah. Anyway, what the f are we doing this morning? What a crazy way to start the day. Tyrell Lee, thank you for the 10 give this subs. If you ask ChatGPT, it says $1 billion. What approximate amendment as of his net worth is estimated to be approximately $5 billion. His wealth comes from a combination of real estate investments, business ventures, his role in Sabancı Holding. He has made strategic investments in his properties, particularly in Istanbul and New York City, which have significantly contributed to his net worth. Yeah. He's a real estate mogul in both Istanbul and also New York City. You know what's really funny about the Sabancı Holding situation? He was the executive vice president. This is something I've talked about before, but of Sabancı, which is like a massive holding group. Other than Koç, it's like the second largest holding group in Turkey at the time. This would mean he's richer than the founder of the holding group, okay? As in, he's wealthier than the person who is the founder and like the CEO of the holding group. By massive numbers, too, by billions of dollars. Make this make sense. Make this make sense. You can tell who's heard of the Piker curse. Yeah, I've talked about my family's finances before. Like, every generation of my family has made a shit ton of money and then lost it all by the time that they're like next of kin, next up, gets to college. It has happened in both sides of my family as well. Not that it fucking matters, because I use that to explain to you all the time that the Republican concept around wealth is actually built on a faulty premise. Ben Shapiro will always say, actually, you know, what, like only 10%. Like, do you know how much money is passed down every year from one generation to the next? It's like 10%. You are lying, okay? You are lying when you say that. Because when you're rich, even if you fucking lose all that wealth by the time someone like myself, for example, I can speak from personal experience, when you grow up affluent, as I did, right? By the time you get to fucking college, even if you go to college in America where you get a slate wiped, basically, because you have no network in the same way in the United States of America, I still did not have to work to you know, ensure that I took care of my family. That would have over my schooling in the process. You know what I mean? There's a tremendous amount of different societal pressures that I did not have to withstand as a consequence of growing up affluent. Even if they had no money by the time I got to college, it still doesn't matter, right? Because I got a tremendous education. I'll give you one example, okay? Not a very good test taker. In Turkey, there's a lot of emphasis placed on tests. And you can go to some of the best public schools in the country. Some of the best schools in the country are public schools still to this day, right? But you have to be really good at taking these tests in both 8th grade and also, before you get to college. And because I, was dog shit in 8th grade in my standardized testing, okay, I was not able to get into very good high schools, very good public high schools. But because of the affluent position of my family at the time, I still went to a really good private school. Okay, that is a massive leg up. That is a massive, massive leg up. So money helps in very unique ways that are not immediately visible. Okay, a lot of people discount this and they don't understand it and they don't recognize it. And that's why people like Ben Shapiro will be able to falsely paint this narrative that like wealthy people only give their next of kin a leg up by leaving them money when they pass away. That's nothing. That's marginal. If your dad had all this money, why did you have to pay off Murat's tuition? Yeah. Hasan just admitted he comes for money. Wait, what? I have never not recognized that, chatter. The problem with a lot of people is that they don't understand. That like these are things that I have very openly talked about. I've always talked about this. I've talked about it in the same exact framework that I just described about like how Ben Shapiro lies when he says that wealth is only passed down at the point of like someone passing away. That's incorrect. There are invisible ways in which affluent individuals can ensure that their next of kin is set up to basically maintain the same social mobility. Okay, and people still f that up sometimes. But having said that, the idea that like the idea that this is just a direct wealth transfer at the point of the person dying is silly. And regardless, my financial circumstances went from growing up very affluent to no longer being affluent at all and having to take out student loans and do all this shit. But it doesn't really matter. You're gonna have to clarify now that the money you came from isn't. Yeah, and it was at never the point of a billionaire. What do you mean? That is also completely false. There's a complete fabrication. Yeah. Also, oh yeah, the $10,000 a month gym in New York. I would love to watch that. I saw a clip of it on TikTok. Affluent in Turkey, but not in USA, correct? Yes. You've talked about your privilege, your advantages, but you never act like you are better, as you want everyone to have access to good education and healthcare. Yes, that is the whole point. Also, people like lose their minds over this shit, but like, yeah, you know, my father's like circumstances do not have any bearing on my political commentary whatsoever. So that in and of itself is also so stupid. And it's just, I think, like a weird way to basically dox family members of a person that you don't like. Like, but we've decided that, like, because the enemy is ontologically evil, me being the enemy, that's actually perfectly valid. It's weird. Like, it's kind of crazy that like that kind of behavior is not considered psychopathic and scary, and instead is considered like perfectly valid and normal and good. You know, video of you talking about it from a while ago.
Any number of different people who have not benefited from that intergenerational wealth. My father is probably not going to leave me any money by the time he dies. My grandfather, who I'm named after, he died and left virtually no money. He had tremendous wealth and almost had none left at the end of his life. But it doesn't matter because he gave my father an incredible education, incredible opportunities, just like my father before me gave me those very same opportunities. Because
Hasan, I can't believe you admitted that. On this video with 669,000 views from June 15, 2020.
That sort of privilege does not come in the direct form of financial compensation, you dumb f***.
In reality, the best path toward wealth in this country is income mobility, not inherited wealth.
This opened up a wealth.
Wait, I don't even disagree with that. Income mobility. Would Ben Shapiro perhaps admit that income mobility is significantly affected by centuries of slavery and also segregation for another century after slavery was abolished? Maybe that's has something to do with the fact that black people don't have that same kind of income mobility in this country that white people do, which is the entire purpose of this fucking video.
As a result, today, for every $100 of wealth held by a white family, black families have $5.04. A 2017 study confirms that redlining is still affecting home values in major cities like Chicago.
There you go.
This explains how Kevin and Jamal inherited vastly different circumstances.
As it turns out, there are some complicating factors that don't get cited in this video with regard to this data. The Federal Reserve...
The Twitter freak out this morning about you is amazing. Wait, why are people freaking out? So it's really interesting. It's really interesting that people, like I said, don't know that these are all things that I've addressed a million times over. My Baba grew up super wealthy as a pediatrician to upper class Izmir people and also lost it over his life. And at the end of his life, my dad was supporting him. Do you think there's something in Turkish culture that makes people easily lose it like that? Haha, I don't know. Probably not. I think what a lot of people don't understand is that, like, I have made more money than my dad ever has in his entire life. Okay. And not only that, but I also take care of him now. And I'm very fortunate to be able to do so. And that still has not changed my analysis. That still has not changed the things I fucking advocate for. So I don't understand. Like, yeah, no, you can yell at me all day, every day, be like, you're rich and also socialist. What the fuck? Blah, 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 all this shit. But that's it. Yeah, $6 billion. My net worth is actually $6 billion. You guys joke about this shit, but like, honestly, people do believe it. So it's like a very weird situation. And I don't even want to talk. I don't even want to talk about my fucking family. It's like odd that people do this kind of shit, especially when I don't like, bring them on stream deliberately and make them the centerpiece or the focus of my commentary in general. But once again, it always goes back to the same like false first principle, which is that like, are you losing viewership? No. Will there be a 2028 U.S. election under Trump administrator? Will there be a fair election in the USA? I don't know why you're... My family has 10 million euros, and this in fact informs my politics. It made me understand that other people should have the benefits I had. For example, I had a mental health crisis and was able to not work, stop university for a year and go back home. Others would risk death or complete poverty in that position. Exactly. That's another thing. That is also another side of the story as well, is like for example, my experience going from working for a company as a wage laborer to working for myself in the process of still, you know, making money from real estate that way would only put him behind Rick Caruso on the list of Forbes real estate billionaires from 2023, which is an insane claim to make. Yeah, people are on crack cocaine, I think. But look, the point I was trying to make is that like all of the opportunity that I've had, all of the privilege that I've had, I want others to be able to have that as well. I want others to be able to experience the freedom of not having to fucking worry about healthcare costs. That's it. That's what I advocate for. Okay. And I've never really personally hid my beginnings or anything like that. Not that it bears any basis on my commentary in general. And I think it's really weird, and it's a very odd way to just like try to open up a new vector of attack by just like doxing my family. What the fuck? It's weird and gross. I don't know how else to describe it. Yes, Little Bear, I'm aware that Coke is officially on the BDS list. I know. But yeah, apparently people got real mad at the it all comes from Destiny followers. Yeah, probably. 2 hours in and he hasn't covered news. It's an hour and 25. Okay. But yeah, one of the weirdest aspects of this is literally when I start talking about this stuff, it's the same principle. It's the same like it's the same reasons as to why people will start talking about like, well, Coke is on the BDS list, which means that, you know, I'm going to decide all these other things are also on the BDS list and make sure that you don't consume them or something. It's that parasocial, it's that little parasocial puppeteering interest that a lot of people have that basically start changing the dynamic of the chat. And it's really interesting because like I saw people in the chat being like, what's your net worth and how do you plan on spending it? It's like, dude, what the fuck are you saying? Anyway, excuse me, can you please give me a financial accounting of all of your expenses right now so I can make assessments on whether it's moral by my standards or not? Is not a, you know, this is a fucking ridiculous combo to have. It is. It's especially ridiculous because people will be like, ooh, he's hiding it. He's being sinister. It's like, dude, what are you talking about? I exhibit or I live under capitalism in the most ethical ways possible, okay? Within the bounds of reason. And people still fucking yell at me for leasing a goddamn dentist car like the Taycan or purchasing a house that I mortgaged so that I could live with it and welcome all of my family members and also people that from all around the world come and visit Los Angeles. And not only that, but even then people yell about that. Why the fuck would I constantly play defense on this shit? Yeah, whatever, dude. I'm caked up, okay? Focus on the argument. That's it. It's another way to just move the conversation away from that, to just like attack the person saying the message and not necessarily the message itself. Oh, there must be some inconsistency here. Okay? Anyway, yes, I will be streaming tomorrow. And Janksgiving is tomorrow. Yeah. Every moment that you're like, oh, dude, I can't believe this house is fucking 2.7 mil. Is a moment where you're not asking the question, why is that house 2.7 mil? That's, I think, a much more productive conversation to be having. Now, let's get back to the real news of the world.